Hello and welcome to today's Monday Doodle. I just came home from work and I have about, how much time do I have? I have about half an hour or so before I have to pick up my daughter. So I just have time to do the first prompt of Folktale week because it starts today. The first prompt is called Lost. I did a sketch and I'll make it in with a fineliner and also mushroom ink because it is the season and I've had this mushroom ink for about 3 years, 2 or 3 years, so I'm excited to see if it has turned moldy or if it's still working. And if you haven't seen the video about how to make your own ink on the Shaggy ink cap, then I'll make sure to put a link in the description below, because here in November you can find a lot. I have seen a lot actually growing here in Copenhagen, different places. Urban parks is a great place to go. Also, I have a mug with the sacred thing inside, coffee. Cheers out there. Happy Monday. So, let's get cracking. This is my humble studio in the window, because you know that I don't currently have a studio. Well, this is just home, and sometimes my kids come here, so I have place here in my little window to do a bit of drawing. How big is this? Big enough. Okay, let's go ahead and start out to test the mushroom ink, because I'm very curious to see if it's gone moldy or not. Whoops. It looks okay. Yeah. And the thing I love about this mushroom ink is you get this beautiful texture. That was just a call. And also just the color of the ink itself. It's not brown, it's not gray, it's somewhere in between, and I really like that color it has. You can't really, well, you could of course mix yourself a color by buying ink in the art stores, because then you could get this color, but I mean, it's out there in nature for free, so I think it's beautiful. Okay, so let's just go ahead to the drawing itself. Yeah, because then my plan is to use this one for the outline, and then I'll go about using the mushroom ink for shading. Okay, let me see. I just need my reference of a sketch here. Okay. That sign should have gone out a bit more this way, but never mind. See if we can make it things happen. Just have to switch from working with a different thing and then switching right over to drawing. So just have to think things through a bit here. Maybe you could see the top plane here. There. All right. Down here, and we will have grass. Okay. We're gonna have a character over here. Somewhere where should we put him? Maybe the head is kind of here because he needs to look up that way. This is the character that I talked about in last week's Monday Doodle, who has this great hair, and he will be looking up that way, so we gotta make sure to thrust his head a bit up that way. And the beak, oh, I should have made more place for the beak. Okay, yeah, like that. I can always alter the design. Maybe this character will change his appearance along the course of this Folktale week. It is something that happens if you look close at Tove Jensen's early Mumie drawings. You will also see that her designs of them change rather much, actually. So of course, without comparing me to Tove Jensen, I'm just a fan. He will have a tiny butterfly, and I haven't designed his jacket yet, but let's just see how it goes. He needs a map of some sort. Make it go down, and there's a couple of hands. And then I need to follow. Like some sort of a cloak. Maybe you could just see his jacket sleeves coming up there, and pants. And actually, let's just see how that could go. He has a sword coming down that way. And then I was thinking, what about the pants? How should they be? Maybe they are. Maybe it's a cloak. I'm a big fan of like old school clothing, and in old school I mean, I don't know, for instance, the series, no, the film with Christian Bale and that guy who plays the bad nephew in Harry Potter, Dudley. They made a film called Pale Blue Eyes, I think, and that kind of style, like British 19th century style, especially the clothing. I've always fancied that kind of clothing. Don't know why. It's just the proportions, I guess. The cuts. Let's just give him big boots. Yes, big boots. Then kind of comical boots here. Is there some kind of thing going over there, maybe? And here. Yeah, I think that does it. Just barely see the trousers. And what else? Backpack. Of course. Because my plan is also to use this character. Like, I like to use this character for the whole Folktale week. And he's also going to sleep, because there's a problem called sleep. And then, of course, he needs all his equipment to be able to sleep outside. So, as you might also have guessed, this is like not officially following Folktale week. It's just me being lazy not to go into an actual folktale, but just kind of let myself be inspired by the prompts, really. Instead of not participating, I thought I would do something in between. And we need an outline, like a square around him, because I'd like to make it into kind of like a storytelling sort of comic book. Could be rather fun. Yes. And to those out there who are curious as to what I'm using, right now this is a graphic one by Pigma. Don't know if it zooms in here. Pigma Archival ink, 1.0 millimeters, waterproof and fade-proof fineliner. I mean, it's the best fineliner that I've come across. It's really good. It's really good, and I love the fact that, I mean, the texture makes like, you can kind of change the line as to how thick you want it. Okay, so just the background. I figure let's go easy. Just make like a bush, a shrubbery, as Monty Python would call it. And let's make a shrubbery up here that is a bit more looming. This suggests a bit of texture here by the shrubbery, and maybe a bit of grass to distinguish. Okay, there we go. And now for a fun part, I'll be adding some names to the signs here. Is there an old name for distances? Like I would like to have written miles, but is there like a way of putting distances in English? Are there anyone out there who can help me? Hello, Great Ink. It's morning for you. Okay, here in Copenhagen it's like afternoon, so but good morning to you anyway. Do you have a suggestion for like an old school way of saying like distances, not kilometers, and not miles, but is there? Actually, I know one from Lord of the Rings. They say like a farthing. That could be kind of cool, like 3 farthings to Foggy Beard, for instance. Foggy Beard. Let me know if you have. The Happy Pony. And becomes rather small, these letters, but don't worry. Let's just go with 2 miles over here. Very confusing signs, I know. And 3 miles that way. The forest is 11 miles long way. And Crooked Teeth is, you have to make that up yourself. Bit of texture here. Maybe there's just a small hint of a it says Skinny Harry here. It's up to you to decide whether it's a pub or whether it's a place to stay over or maybe something entirely different. Now almost ready for shading. I just would like to add a bit of make him stand out a bit more. That could be by making his shoes black. Create a small highlight on it, maybe on the toes here. Shaggy is the distance at which sheep still look picturesque. What? No, that must be a joke. My wife is currently texting me regarding some things with the kids, so I think maybe we're picking up together. So let me finish off real quick. Okay, time for shading. Which means time for mushroom ink. As mentioned, you can find a video where I show you how to create your own shaggy ink cap ink. I'll make sure to put a link to the video below. Let's do a bit of shading here. And then I think I will take a larger brush, this one for instance, and we will just create a tone for the strawberry behind him, I think, to make it stand out. So that we have a feeling that the sky behind him is lighter. Of course, I could spend a lot greater deal on detailing here and thinking about where to put the shading. This is just like very intuitive and well, an obstruction. Create a prompt within half an hour. Although of course I did make a sketch as to where I wanted things to go beforehand. See the beautiful texture here. And finally yes. So of course from here you could choose to let it dry and then apply another layer of shading. But I think I'll just keep the spontaneous feel of it from where things are now. And then for the next one, the next prompt, I'd like to make even more, like a more detailed drawing for the next course. Let's see where things go. I really look forward to the one called Ink and the one called Sea, because I have a feeling that there could be an octopus meeting with this guy here. So yeah, thank you for tuning in this Monday. Cheers in coffee or tea or whatever you're having. And I just want to say finish and say thank you for watching, and until next time, have fun drawing.